Why does the world-renowned Lipton Tea Company owe some of its success to the most prestigious yacht race in the world, a race that was originally started by Queen Victoria and Prince Albert? The answer may surprise you. Welcome to Toys with the Boys, where we explore history, stories, and use our natural curiosity, all aided by the notion that we will never grow up. Motorsports has Formula One, motorcycles have MotoGP, and sailing has the America's Cup. That is the pinnacle of sailing around the world, to push the boat design envelope and propel humans as fast as possible using the wind, with the biggest names, largest sponsors, and an extraordinary amount of money. If you are new to sailing, the America's Cup is the premier league of the sailing world, the Super Bowl of prestige. You have an expensive car or a nice watch collection? That's cute. Now try and build and support a team for a race that happens on average every 4 years. Wealthy individuals have thrown a ridiculous amount of money towards this race just to lose or not even challenge for the cup. When man first confronted a large body of water and created primitive wooden floating vessels, they would have never imagined that they were laying the groundwork for the oldest continuous sporting trophy in the world, dating back to 1851, with the most recent race happening in Barcelona, Spain from August 22nd to October 27, 2024. Since the beginning of time, the pursuit of competition has driven man to seek every single advantage over his opponent. This pursuit has pushed sailing from boats formed out of logs to modern carbon fiber monohull foiling speed machines of the 21st century. And naturally, where there is a competitive drive, a champion must be crowned, testament of who reigns supreme, better in skill and better in construction. Unlike many other sports, sailing is a demonstration of not only human skill, but also of the machine, a showcase of design, construction, and mechanized mastery. In 1851, at the first race, the winning boat, named the America, was constructed of wood and many heavy sails. She was a 100-foot schooner, and she was a true big-boned heavyweight by today's standards, boasting a tonnage of over 170. And she was from the New York Yacht Club, a yachting club whose name would strike fear into the hearts and minds of her challengers. And in 1851, what a victory that was for the American team. At the time, the British Empire ruled the waters. The wind came against the exclusive and venerable Royal Yacht Squadron off the Isles of Wight in the English Channel, a yachting club that was composed of kings and lords. This was a dominating win on away territory, where at the start of the race the American boat was facing the wrong direction. It was such a dominating victory that the Queen of England sailed across the Atlantic Ocean to New York City to look at and congratulate the crew of the America. The day after the race, rumors spread that the America had a secret crew below deck peddling some sort of primitive propulsion device, which is ironic when you look at today's modern race boats. This first victory would be the start of the New York Yachting Club's reign of supremacy. The American outfit would win 24 times in a row and reign supreme for over 130 years, making their championship run the longest reign across any sport. And that is where the tea tycoon Sir Thomas Johnstone Lipton gained notoriety around the world and the United States. In the America's Cup world, Sir Lipton is known as the best loser of all, a name he would gain after funding 5 America's Cup Challenger boats and losing every single one. But through his continued failed effort, his tea was made famous, especially in the United States, and is now a household brand across the U.S. Sir Lipton was inducted into the America's Cup Hall of Fame in 1993. The America's Cup is unlike any other sporting event in the world, where the current rules and regulation for yacht design and construction are imposed by the winners of the Cup, called the Deed of Gift of the America's Cup. Through the Deed of Gift, yacht racing has progressed from large displacement wooden monohulls with 20-ton lead keels to modern racing machines constructed of carbon fiber, metal alloys, and are powered by a mix of human, wind, and battery power. The modern AC75 model racing yacht is scheduled to be used in the 37th and 38th edition of the America's Cup, with the boat having the defining features of a carbon monohull with wing-like hydrofoils and a soft double-skinned mainsail and no bottom keel. The Cup deciding match race is between 2 boats, the Defender acting as the current cup holder and the Challenger, the boat that earned the chance to race for the trophy. In coming into the 37th America's Cup in Barcelona, Spain, the sailing world has been anticipating the release of the reigning and defending champion, Emirates Team New Zealand's new boat. Per the regulations, Emirates Team New Zealand's boat is spec'd to tip the scales at over 6 tons. Emirates Team New Zealand's boat specs are as follows: a hull length of almost 68 feet, a beam of 16.4 feet, which is the measurement of the boat's widest hull width, a draft measuring 17 feet, which is the measurement from the boat's waterline to the lowest point on the boat, and a mast height of almost 92 feet, making Emirates Team New Zealand's boat taller than it is in length. Aboard the boat are 8 sailors, and they are all fixed in their position throughout the duration of the race, and they are placed symmetrically on the boat, 4 on each side. 2 helmsmen that drive the boat, 2 pilot trimmers that trim the mainsail and help fly the boat, and 4 cyclers that provide hydraulic power for everything above the waterline. Much like Formula One, each team is allowed to construct a yacht based on their own design and budget, as long as it is within the rules and regulations. Today's boat design is largely done on computers, with huge design hours and large design teams, making the design cost multiple times more than the cost of building the actual boat. Teams will employ the use of wind tunnels, water tanks, CAD, and CDF programs to make sure their boats are as slippery in the water as well as in the wind. That increase in cost can be attributed to the America's Cup teams joining forces with Formula One race teams, with 3 of the 6 teams having public confirmed partnerships with the motorsport outfits. Alinghi Red Bull Racing teamed with Red Bull F1 Racing, Orient Express Racing is teamed with Alpine F1 team, and the British outfit Ineos Britannia shares partnership with Mercedes AMG F1 team. That strong F1 influence can be seen in the boat's hull construction, with crazy geometries, shapes, side pods, and very few straight lines. The boat's hulls have protruding crew pods and have a similar shape to that of an F1 car. AC75 racing yachts are not only propelled by the wind, but they are also aided by human power. All of the boat's movement for the sails are driven by hydraulics. The more power that the crew is able to provide, the more that the trimmers are able to move and position the boat in a favorable and winning position. With variable winds, attack strategies, and opponent variables, foils and sails have to constantly move and thus require constant power supply. The current vintage of yachts have switched from 6 to 8 hand crank grinders to 4 bike-style cycling generators. Hand grinders were able to provide about 400 watts of power, while the new cycling-style generators are able to produce 500 plus watts of power for 1 hour. To put that in perspective, 500 plus watts for 60 minutes puts these cyclists on par or exceeds world-class Tour de France bike riders in terms of their power output, making these cyclists aboard these vessels some of the most powerful cyclists on the planet. The modern AC75 class boat is not only a stunning showcase of craftsmanship, but is also a marvel of engineering. Unlike the sails of the past, Emirates Team New Zealand and her competitors have massive main wind sails. They are constructed of 2 skins secured to a D-shaped mast. This allows the sails to be more flexible, efficient, and the ability to sail in low wind speeds. The double-skin mainsail's primary advantage is that it is shaped like a wing of an airplane. The sail shape allows the boat to sail up to 4 times the wind speed, allowing them to exceed 50 knots, making these boats the fastest in history, with Ineos Britannia clocking a record speed of 55.6 knots or almost 64 miles per hour at the 37th America's Cup. Probably the most defining feature of the AC75 class racing yacht is the swing-down arms on each side of the hull. Without a normal kill to provide stability, these arms are able to provide stability in all conditions. At the bottom of each arm is a hydrofoil. In its simplest terms, it is a water wing, and the new Gen 2 foil regulations allow them to be even bigger. When the foils are in the water, the lift created by these wings is enough to lift the entire boat out of the water. This greatly decreases the drag created by the water and aids in the boat's overall speed, allowing for quicker acceleration, higher top-end speed, and quicker boat positioning maneuvers. The hydrofoils themselves are an incredible design and engineering feature. The force and load that they have to handle is immense. They have to be as light as possible so that the boat does not sit low in the water. They have to have plenty of maneuverability to cover the range needed to stay out of the water and in the water. And they still have to be strong enough to lift a vessel weighing over 6 tons completely out of the water and traveling over 50 knots. The engineering and design of these boats' most defining feature could be a video on their own. The hydrofoils have tails on their trailing edge. With movements much like the ailerons on an airplane wing, the tails allow for a vertical movement for the boat. When the boat is positioned correctly, the hydrofoils and windsails pinch the boat forward, and this is how the boat is able to generate incredible speed even in a block headwind. The 37th America's Cup has come and gone, with Emirates Team New Zealand winning again. The Cup match was between Emirates Team New Zealand and Ineos Britannia. With Emirates Team New Zealand's win, it makes them the only team to win 3 cups in a row during the foiling era. With the deed of gift and the crown of defender, the Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron gets to call all the shots for the 38th America's Cup regarding boat specs, race location, and time. We will have to wait and see where the race will be, as speculation has put potential locations in Saudi Arabia, Spain, or a home race in New Zealand. And the race is expected to have a quick turnaround, with the next race expected within 3 years. A boat that is able to travel 4 times the wind speed and fly completely out of the water, 6 tons of man and machine dancing harmoniously in the wind, a collaboration of many brilliant minds across different sports and backgrounds, mixing a collaboration of brute force, the design of a true artist, and the prestige of kings and queens. It is fair to say that the AC75 is a modern marvel. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to follow, as we will have more videos coming up, including tractors, race cars, and rockets.